Hey everybody, KC here. So there's been a lot of controversy in the world of sports journalism this week, since it's been reported that Sports Illustrated was posting online product reviews that were generated by AI. In other words, not written by actual people. The bylines were fake. Now, listen, there's a lot of reporting on this. This story still to come as everybody tries to sort out exactly what happened and who was to blame. But it really stings because Sports Illustrated, for so many decades was like the gold standard when it came to sports journalism. Now that dates back to the days when it was started and owned by Time magazine, which it isn't anymore. It hasn't been for a number of years. Now it's owned by a media conglomerate that's called the Arena Group. And they apparently contracted with a third-party company called Advon Commerce to do it. And Advon Commerce sells itself as sitting at the intersection of content and marketing with, quote, innovative software solutions for e-commerce. In other words, it has almost nothing to do with journalism. Now, Arena, basically what they've done, they're a media conglomerate. What they've done is they are blaming Advon, but it's a mess. And there's a lot of coverage by a lot of other journalism organizations, and there's a lot of discontent within the magazine among their writers, actual writers and editors, people with actual heartbeats and brains. Now, let's forget for a minute about assigning blame. There's probably enough blame to go around, and especially among the media conglomerate types and the content and marketing types. I want to focus on one thing very specifically, and that's the desecration of a valued brand. It was one of the best brand names in the game. Some of the best journalists in sports work there. People like Frank DeFord and Peter Gammon, Sally Jenkins and Dan Jenkins. Sure, the magazine could get cheesy sometimes, right? Witness the January swimsuit edition that's been coming out since the 60s. But basically, the core of Sports Illustrated's value system was great stories, well told. But the clowns in charge don't seem to care about that. Yeah, sure, they have some actual journalism. But the fact that anybody would let this happen and that nobody was paying attention and putting up guardrails to make sure it couldn't happen demonstrates a lack of priorities as far as I'm concerned, and it's certainly a lack of appreciation for what always made Sports Illustrated special. So here's my question to you. Do you understand what makes your brand special? Do you nurture those qualities? Do you have safeguards to make sure that nobody's going to violate the core values that make you special? Is your commitment to those values constantly renewed? Are you committed to authenticity? Now listen, I love the idea that AI is going to make life easier for many of us, but it can't be at the replacement of actual people who, if we're lucky, have actual morals, actual values, actual brains, actual hearts, and actual ethics. These are people who are going to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, not just whatever the algorithm tells them to do. By the way, one final quick thought. Do you think the January swimsuit edition is going to be populated by deep fakes? Okay, no jokes, please. That's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.